Klondike Gold, what I've done with 10 years of exploration is taken a concept that the Klondike actually has gold in the ground beneath the 20 million ounces of placer gold that's been discovered there in the last 125 years without a known source. And I've turned this, I described it 10 years ago as a science experiment because it's known as a, quote, orogenic gold deposit with, as mapped, absolutely no characteristics that have an orogenic system with it, including no faults, no nothing. So 10 years ago, when I was presenting to Jay at the original MIF in Vancouver, I had a lot of ideas about potential. Frank Justra was the one who had actually had me look at this before I got involved as CEO of Klondike Gold for a full year. And I thought it had incredible potential. What it has turned into is a true science experiment to prove that the geology was conducive to having a lot of gold in it. So as a really fast summary, Klondike Gold, we're listed in TSX, in the OTC, and in Frankfurt. Our offices, well, our field office is in Dawson. We own it as we own the 4 acres of office space and stuff. Based in the Yukon, we're all in the Yukon. It's one property, one very significantly big property. Currently, we have 255 million shares. These numbers are updated as of this morning because we just completed a $3 million financing announced Thursday. So we now have a $64 million market cap, up from about 15 million market cap a week ago. We have 727 square kilometers. We cover the Klondike Goldfields, the historic Klondike Goldfields, you know. We cover the entirety of it in quartz claims. We also have different titles on some placer claims, which is the right to mine surface gravels. I'll tell you about that in a second. We have a really good team that I've accumulated over the 10 years. All the people who have started have stayed on. We finally got to the point where we're hiring everybody permanently. We have a nice staff of professional, scientifically oriented people who are determined to find lots of gold. Currently, which is a backward-looking mineral resource of 580,000 ounces as of the end of 2021. The point of that mineral resource was to prove only that there actually was gold in the bedrock at the time. It wasn't intended to impress anybody, and it doesn't impress, but it's proof that actually there's something here. So as of today, we have $4 million in treasury. We have a revenue streaming property from a placer mine that's contributing this year, forecast 2 million ounces, or $2 million. And because of the price rise of our stock appreciation the last little bit, we basically have $10 million worth of warrants in the money currently. So we're going to be well funded, and that's going to allow me to take Klondike Gold to the moon right now. So what we're going to do, what we were planning to do anyway, is basically take Pierre Lassonde's advice. Well, he was going carpe diem. You better go out and find it now. We're going to drill 8,000 meters of drilling this year that is targeting step outs of mineralization that we can tag to our existing mineral resource. And the intention is to have a 2 million ounce, potentially 2 million ounce resource by the end of this year. We also have tellurium in this deposit. It's recoverable. Actually, all of this gold in the Klondike is gravity recoverable. There's a process to do 100% gravity recoverable gold, which would also recover the tellurium that we're looking at. 2 types of gold. This is part of the science experiment breakthrough, is the spoon. Those are 200 ounce pails of fine gold. And it's basically millimeter gold. You find millimeter gold in what has traditionally been frustrating or frustrated others in the Klondike, is that they're hosted, what we know now, in large, like 10 to 30 to 40 meter wide zones of disseminated, fine-grained, 0.5 gram to 1 gram alteration mineralization. And the other stuff, so the total endowment in the Klondike, 20 million ounces of gold, 8 million ounces of those were coarse nuggets. 12 million was this fine stuff. Where'd the coarse nuggets come from? Nobody's ever found that. Nobody's ever figured this out. Nobody's even really looked for it. So this past year of breakthrough, we figured out the specific geology. We're out sending our prospectors, finding gold nuggets in outcrop. So if you get a tour, my Gilligan's Island 3-hour tour of the gold fields, I can take you out to outcrops with gold in them now. The importance of that is we can drill it. And so on the right-hand side, this is another fallacy, that my hand there with the butterfly nugget in the bottom right, that nugget broke the day after the photo was taken. This is supposedly gold that's eroded in somewhere it's traveled from a long way and doesn't exist and can't be from the Klondike. It's not in the bedrock there. There's no way that that didn't travel more than about 50 meters. In the big picture, this is what I produced for Frank Juster in the original thing. Just as a potential map, we are on the same plate boundary happening in the same time that's producing the California Mother Lode, the Klondike, the Klima Belt in Russia, at the same northern latitude that has the same erosion rates. So in California, it has a really significant placer endowment with a really big gold bedrock endowment. Same in Klima. And in the Klondike, there's 20 million ounces of gold, but there's none in the bedrock. That's just nonsense. So what we've done is prove that these black lines, so the property is 50 kilometers long on a major crustal structure that was never identified, and I'm still arguing with the Yukon Geological Survey that says, look, that's evident, and it's a major crustal structure. And that is the orogenic system that controls the gold. This particular structure will extend all the way around just past Pogo, which we saw on the other side. And basically it's that curve, it's a crustal feature. And there's gold all the way along it. And so we have 2 mineral resource estimates on Stander and Lone Star, just up near Dawson. And currently, this is something I just realized yesterday, we have 170 outcrops that have greater than 20 grams of gold in them that we haven't touched. What we're trying to do is, so back to that first slide, I think there's a 50 million ounce prize that I can find and Klondike Gold can realize in a resource in the Klondike with the work we're doing now. The first is to get to a 2 million ounce resource. We have that backward looking resource. As I said, it wasn't good. It was just the proof that there actually is stuff in there. We used $1,700 US an ounce as the calc. We've since that drilled nearly 20,000 meters. All of those 137 drill holes have hit mineralization that have extended the resource in all those dots. And at the time, we didn't understand about the coarse nuggety gold, so those got capped out of our resource and not included. So graphically, that's what we've been doing. We've been making discoveries in bedrock all the way along. The important thing here is there's high grade 1 ounce to 100 ounce veins within that disseminated alteration. There's where the mine and the money is. We've been mapping them. This is a section of many where we have continuity in the veins. We can now resource estimate. We can domain them and estimate them on their own. Within that broader envelope of gold, that's what's going to produce a significant contribution to the already existing 500,000 ounce resource we have. From an infrastructure point of view, it's fantastic. We live in Dawson. Dawson is on the right-hand side down the bottom. If you turn, the Yukon River is right here. If you turn this to the left, that's the Klondike River, which is on the left bottom. That is still the Klondike Highway or the Alaska Highway. There's a right-hand turn going up, and just beneath the B in Bonanza, that's Lovett Hill, which you're looking at in the upper right. And from there, you can see our mineral resource. While the drillers ordered pizza in Dawson, delivered to the Lone Star drill at night, we have fabulous infrastructure. Capital structure, talking about ownership, I believe what I do. So I own 9.9%, 9.99% of the shares. I own another 9.99% of warrants or convertible. So I'm the largest single shareholder now. Frank Juster is second largest individual. Eric Sprott is third largest individual. Insiders and directors own nearly 10% of the company. And then we have key investor groups in British Columbia, in Europe, and in the US that comprise more than 50%. What we're going to do, significant value from your perspective. We're trading at 25 cents now. The Fuerte just purchased the Coffee deposit, which is in just south of us, 130 kilometers south. It was owned by Newmont. They paid $150 an ounce in the ground to acquire it. If we put 2 million ounces on the resource, that would value us using that metric at a 300 million market cap. Our current market cap is $60 million. And this is mineable, gravity recoverable, no chemicals required. It's simple, it's easy, and very valuable. And I think we get a significant share re-rate when we get to the resource, which would be due in February 2027, 1 year from now.